All right, guys, welcome to my channel, guys. So it has happened again in Enugu State. This time, it is no longer Benue State, but it's Enugu. What is still currently going on in Nigeria? What is going on in Nigeria? Few days ago, we had a news that over 200 and something persons were unalived in Benue State. And now 10 persons have been unalived in Enugu State by the same Fulani Herdsmen. All right, so what is currently going on? And many persons have been injured and be taken to hospitals. But I want you guys to pay attention to the video update that I brought for you guys. Recently, a few days ago, the president came and tweeted on his X handle saying that he has already sent security agencies, Nigerian security agencies, to go and look into the situation that happened in the Benue State. And at this point, I think what is needed right now is action. All right, action is all that is needed from the Nigerian government because there must be perpetrators to this very act, and that needs to be brought to justice. All right, so let's pay attention to all the updates that happened here. Governor of Benue State finally reacted.
I'm looking at the fact that you are from Ogun State, but then you're a Nigerian person.
Oh, yes.
Ahamefu, this is in the south part of Nigeria. 10 people have been killed again. I've read it now. It's on the Vanguard. How do we go out of this mess of the Fulani Herdsmen?
Mr. Riva, Governor of Plateau State said the people coming to kill, they have been killing. The Fulani that are killing, they are not Fulani of Nigerian extraction. They are Fulani of foreign countries. Then the question now is that, okay, apart from this revelation, the first headquarters of Nigerian security also confirmed that same report that yes, people killing us are Fulani from other countries. Then the question is that who facilitated this Fulani to Nigeria and be doing the killing? The issue is this. That's it. Who facilitated them to Nigeria and be killing Nigerians? You have just read to us where this is in your hand. In the southeast. This is not Benue now, in Igbo land. They are killing Igbos in their land. They're killing Yoruba land too. About 2 or 3 years ago, and in lost Yoruba man to rise up against them. Look at what's killing, look at the massacre that's going on in Benue, Plateau. I mean, even in the north as well, the issue is that who are the people frontlining, facilitating, backrolling, supporting, inviting these people to come and be killing all Nigerians in the different localities in Nigeria? And I said, President Tinubu has a role to play in inviting local Fulani Nigeria that come and work with Nigerian security officials in identifying this foreign Fulani, because you speak Fulani, when you hear Fulani of other extraction, you can be able to identify them. It is you that can help the security to identify who these people are. When you hear their tone, their tonation, you will know that yes, these are Fulani of not Nigerian territory. These are Fulani of other foreign land. You can assist Nigeria. But as President Tinubu done that, he has not done that. The people who can help us identify those foreign Fulanis and Nigerian local Fulanis, President Tinubu has never invited them to be of assistance to the security agencies to assist them, fishing them out. Rather, what Tinubu is doing that is playing politics with that matter. Is thinking politically that the votes that were accrued to him, one vote, he goes to get from Fulani side of Nigeria. That's hidden. That's preventing him from taking a decisive action to have taken that decision. So it's not decisive in tackling that problem. And
has left more than 100 people dead, dozens wounded, and thousands displaced. And the sheer horror and gruesomeness of it all has sent ripples across Nigeria and the world, and even to the Vatican, where the Pope has sought to intercede with prayers. President Tinubu has sent in teams of intelligence officers, police, and the army. But so far, questions remain unanswered. What is behind these massacres? Is it the clashes between farmers and herders over dwindling pasture in a state ravaged by climate change, illegal mining, and land grabs? Or is it something more sinister, menacing, forbidding, and evil, as some observers have suggested? What are the proven motives for these attacks? And why do the number of assaults keep growing in frequency, even when the police and the army are engaging the attackers full on and regularly? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now on the line from Kpaied by the governor of Benue State, Father Hyacinth Aliyah. Governor, thank you very much indeed for joining us. And first of all, you have our deepest sympathies for the horrors that have been unleashed on your state. I expect you're still in shock as a result, but do you know how many people are being killed?
Guys, thank you so very much and good evening. Again, my heart goes out to the victims of this insane carnage. We don't have any necessity for such a bloodbath. And when it happens, too many things come to play. Even hope itself seems to look bleak. I thank all Nigerians who have sympathized with us, and I remember these and in different shapes are journeying with us on this on this trip at this time of sorrow. Definitely, we understand fully well that the Yelwata attacks happens to be one of the deadly. We 59. So from 59 this afternoon, it's moved all the way to 120 corpses were buried. 18 are yet to be buried. 2 are in the morgue. 4 more bodies were found in the bushes, and quite a number of burnt bodies in different rooms within the community are turned into ashes, and we cannot even recognize them. So at least for the bodies that are recognizable, we're talking of 151 dead.
Well, again, I mean, we're deeply shocked and extremely sorry to hear that. Do you know at this point, without any doubt, who has carried out these attacks or who has been carrying them out? Because, I mean, this is not the first time, is it?
No, it's not the first time, Charles. Let me build a context to this. In this very local government of Guma local government shares boundary with Nasarawa State, and internally it shares boundary with Kpaied local government. It is on the way from a very highway, dual carriage from Kpaied to Abuja, right by the side of the road. It's a very sizable town. The Yelwata area, it's a very sizable town, and it's within.
I think we're having a bit of a challenge with the connection there. Sometimes you get these interruptions on the line, the internet line, and even the satellite line sometimes gets interrupted because of weather patterns and so on. And that's a real pity, because the governor was at a point where he's talking about some really interesting things. Can we hear the governor now, please? Yeah, please go on, Governor. We lost you
Yes,
for a minute.
I'm hearing you well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Guma local government shares border with Nasarawa State, and these are unmined borders, and are quite extended. The Nasarawa border extends into the other local governments, including Gwe West and Agatu primarily. A context behind this, the anxieties we started having in this local government spanned as far back as 22, 23 years ago. But how it happened was the herders clashed with the farmers. This took quite a long period of time, and then eventually, in the last, say, 12 years, it shifted. It moved into the armed herders versus the entire communities. So again, the farmers were affected. They were every now and then driven off from their homes destroyed, and then they had to leave their farmlands as well. And since it's been there for quite some time, a good number of people were tired of seeing the repeat every now and then shifted into towns, but were still manning their farmlands. Of late, what we experience and what we see, it's more abhorrent. It is much and stronger, way beyond farmer-herder crisis. We are being attacked by bandits and terrorists. Definitely, when a thief comes to your house, there's no gainsaying that. There must be someone from. These had persisted for quite some time, but the level of what we have experienced in the last 2 months, it's so much alarming.
Right.
When we took over our administration in 2023 of May, 17 local governments in the entire state were in the front lines of attacks. And all the attacks were led by the herders, the armed herders. We fought quite hard to bring the numbers of the local government in the front lines down from 17 to 9 local governments. And we kept on the struggle and the fight, then to have every part of it cleared from the state. Unfortunately for us, the last 2 months had been very disastrous. From the axis of Sankara includes 3 local governments, Katsina Ala, Uko, and Logo, and they share border with Guma local government by this axis coming down this way towards Kpaied. The attack now shifted straight down to Guma, but we quelled that down. But by this time, it had already moved from Guma local government to Gwe West. Gwe West shares border internally with other local governments, including Apa,
I understand. Sorry, Governor, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I mean, I understand you're trying to explain it to us, and we appreciate you're trying to put that in some perspective. But we've got to move on because we're losing time. We understand that. I think you mentioned that Yelawata town, where this latest attack took place, borders another state, Nasarawa. And I understand that it has a number of military checkpoints and police posts. I mean, is there any information on how these attackers managed to breach those military and police posts and successfully carry out attacks that we're told lasted for several hours?
Yeah, it lasted for 2 hours. Right at Yelawata itself, there is a military checkpoint and then the police as well. But here's how it happened. The river, it's not too far by this axis. So we understand that they came by the route of the river. Now, they were pushed back from Apa, and then as they were moving now towards Nasarawa State, this place, Yelwata, shares border with Nasarawa State. It is on their way en route to Nasarawa State that the heinous attacks now happened. When they got to this town, the first effort they did was to go attack the military and the police who usually man the road and around there. But they had a big pushback. So they now ran back. But they came in numbers. They usually come in very huge numbers.
Right. Right. I can understand that they've essentially overwhelmed the police and the army there, because I understand there were probably about 15 or 20 of them. And, I mean, Governor, when similar types of attacks took place in a couple of weeks ago in Benue State, President Tinubu ordered the Chief of Army Staff to move to the state and take personal charge of the offensive against these attackers. I mean, what happened? Has he been unable to get on top of things? Is he still in Benue State?
When the pronouncement was made by our president, very promptly we had the visitation by the Chief of Army Staff, and his visit was quite effective too. 3 mobile units were shifted to Benue State, and their deployment was made to various parts of the local government in the front lines of the attacks. Again, I had stopped where I said we fought this tooth and nail, and then got to a point where we were now just trying to get through with the 6 remaining local governments. Where that is, when the deployment was made, a number of calm took place. We had less attacks from the 3 local governments by Sankara axis, and now there was this shift that came down to this local government that earlier on had experienced less attacks and relatively non-attack.